If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is January the 12th, 2024, and today the topic is Jesus and therapy. Happy Friday, everyone. Yes, happy Friday. I hope that you guys had a wonderful Thursday. Mine was just fine. Yeah, mine was good overall. Y'all know that I went and did my shift over there at Mountain West Church. I feel like I spent majority of the time in meetings, but it's all good because, again, it's great to hear the heart of, I guess the church and my coworkers and plans for the upcoming months and things of that nature. Also spent some time getting to know my new I don't know what I mean, manager, I guess you could say, or a new point of contact. And I know he's just taking in a lot of information right now, and I guess trying to get understanding of, what I currently do, and I guess, and how that's going to, I guess, relate to what I do with and possibly for him and things of that nature. So I'm mentally preparing that my role may be shifting and changing in some ways. But at the same time, hopefully have been able to show, I guess, the value as well as the wisdom or whatnot that I currently, have and give and show and things of that nature. I'm trying to step up to the challenge where, again, my the gentleman over us has expressed to me in a variety of ways and times that he wants me to, I guess, step up, right, or to, I guess, lean more into all of my giftings, and which I think I'm doing at the church, but at the same time, I could do it a little bit more. I know even there was an opportunity yesterday to step up, and I just kind of held back a bit, and I guess I had to ask myself why. You know what I mean? Like, why are you holding back? But I think for me, in those moments, I'm more so trying to make sure I'm getting an understanding of what's needed, right? What's expected, and not just like hop on something just because the door's open. But hey, again, maybe there's something I need to shift mentally in regards to. And so, yeah, but I mean, as they get to know me and I get to know them, hopefully I can get a chance to, again, share my heart and share, like, the wisdom behind the moves I make. Or the reasons or whatever the case may be, and then hopefully that will help them understand me more, and that I want to definitely, again, lean into all of my gifts, right, to do whatever I can, right, to help out with the ministry and using all my gifts to do so, but then also wanting to do meaningful work, right, to do not just like put something out, but to like really bring the whatever it is to life, whether it's an experience or whatever it is. So I mean, I think there's I guess we're still going through a getting to know you phase and stuff, and so and now again we're embarking on that in a totally different way now that I'm, they brought someone else new on to, I guess, directly work with me and things of that nature. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on at one time, but yeah, I had a great day overall yesterday. I was able to, do some errands and whatnot that I needed to do, make some calls and get some I guess, more wisdom and insight on like getting my car fixed, as well as, my mom's upcoming birthday and whatnot as well. So a lot of stuff going on as always. But I guess with that being said, I mean, that could kind of lead to the conversation about Jesus and therapy, because I know it's a popular, little phrase. I've seen it on T-shirts. I want to say that Jackie Hill Perry is somebody that I've seen, speak on this topic of, again, Jesus and therapy. And then I also understand that it's also like a taboo thing in the Christian community. Sometimes it seems, and then to go even deeper and talk about the Black community and stuff like that. I mean, that's a whole nother, thing as well. But, again, I like to just focus on, biblical things here and, Christian and whatnot. So I'm just going to talk about Christians or whatever overall. That, yeah, there does seem to be a stigma or something against, therapy and things of that nature. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't necessarily see anything wrong per se with therapy, therapists, psychiatry, psychology, all of that type of stuff, sociology. I mean, I'll even say that I had like a little bit of an interest in it. The only thing that kind of kept me from going down that path to really, quote unquote, like becoming a psychiatrist or things of that nature was, feeling as if I wasn't going to be able to give the person advice. From my understanding, you know, basically psychiatrists are supposed to help you get to certain conclusions, but not like give you the conclusion. And and I guess something about that, not saying rubbed me the wrong way, but like as I was growing, right, I found this out in like high school or whatever, and so something about that just was like, and not to be like because I just want to give people advice or something, but that's what people came to me for, and so I guess to put myself in a situation where I wouldn't be allowed to give advice just kind of didn't, it didn't, I guess, encourage or inspire me or make me go down that path, if that makes any sense. And so, that was my quote unquote little bit of experience when it comes to psychology and things of that nature and therapy and all of that. Yeah, I know my mom has a, background and whatnot in it as well as an evangelist and, things like that. And, and again, I feel like it's a gifting that I have, and that's why I'm also more so am a coach. So I'm kind of coaching people and things of that nature right now. But just because you're a coach, right? Just because you're somebody that may have the gifting to, again, assist people and with them and their lives, right? Doesn't mean that you don't also need that, right? And I would say that I was kind of reminded of that. I would say at the beginning of this year, because I mean, I would think about it over the years. Don't get me wrong. I would think about it like when I, as I'm facing adversity or as I'm, going through my life and seeing and feeling things and stuff like that. I'm grateful, right, that I have, a good community of individuals that not only will listen to me, but then will give me, again, biblical, solid, advice and wisdom and things of that nature. So I'm thankful for that. But sometimes you need a little bit more than that. I mean, I know we like to lean on our friends and family to be that. And again, people have leaned on me in that way, and I have been that person for others, right? But sometimes you need a little bit more, right, than just again being able to vent, right, and things of that nature. Like sometimes maybe these counselors or therapists or whoever they are, and again I haven't been to one yet, and things of that nature, so I don't know fully everything about what they can do, but again knowing that if someone else has gotten, I guess, the degree and the wisdom and whatever it is to assist people in this way, there's something to it. And I think that, I guess today I'm exploring, what that looks like biblically. because again, with the negative stigma that comes with it, and I get it, because some people again are abusing their powers, right? There's some people that are, psychologists and therapists that are like, pushing whatever agendas and things that aren't biblical. So there is that out there, and I'm not going to sit here and like pretend like, oh, everything about the quote unquote industry is perfect, but that's everything in life. I mean, any industry has again the ups and the downs. I was sitting here over the past, or last night at some point, looking at, the individuals that are receiving awards these days. And all of that is a beautiful thing, right? Again, it's great to see, Angela Bassett finally get an Oscar, and things of that nature, for example. But, at the same time, too, y'all know I'm side-eyeing everything that got to do with mainstream media. I'm not saying she ain't worthy or whatever, but what I'm saying is, I can't help but wonder, like, behind the scenes what's really going on. Based on, things that I've heard, and the little bit that I know and understand about, again, mainstream and stuff. And I mean, again, but anyway, I say all that to say that there's ups and downs to every industry. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, again, there's not ups and downs when it comes to psychologists and things of that nature. But as believers, right, what should we do and how should we handle these things? Well, I think one of the things that I'm observing and that I am, I guess, challenging myself is to recognize when you need healing, right? Recognize when you need to, address issues. And I want to say, like, as I was thinking about, I guess this, I do have, it's not planned yet, but I mean, I am discussing, getting ready to, I guess, set my first appointment, with a counselor. And it is something that is, being provided through the church. So to God be the glory for that. At least the first session in there, and we'll figure out from there. But the beautiful thing that I found out, that if anybody else needs to know this, what I found out is that apparently since the pandemic, they've added therapy to your health insurance. So, for example, with the church, I will be able to get, with health insurance, I will be able to get my counseling sessions, I guess, technically free, which is a beautiful thing. So if you have health insurance and that's something that you need to look into, by all means, look into it and everything like that. There's also the option to pay out of the pocket. And I know that again, the gentleman above me, my manager, I guess you will, or however y'all would look at him, the next generation pastor, basically, Pastor Keywan, shout out to him. He mentioned to me that they would be willing to go half with me if I needed to pay out of the pocket, which is also a blessing. So you never know, like, what your church can provide, right? Like, if you have a church home and look and see if that's something that they can assist you with and things of that nature. Because again, when you seeking counseling and therapy, one of the things that I received by just this little deep dive that I did today, but also I would say just wisdom of knowing in advance of what I would need, right? As a person of faith, right? As a person that believes, I'm gonna need a person that also believes, right? I'm gonna need a person that understands biblical things, and things of that nature. And so I would say, if you're going to look into counseling and therapy and things of that nature, then you need to, again, get with people that will align with your well, again, I'm talking to believers right now. So, fellow believers, I would just say get with other individuals that are also believers. Because again, I feel like there's things, in my perspective, for example, that I could talk about certain issues, but I understand that there's deeper things going on than my issues, and spiritually. So, and again, I need to be able to express that, and the person I'm talking to needs to be able to understand that too. And that's the beautiful thing that I feel like I have over the years when it comes to, again, my mentors and confidants and people that I talk to, for the most part, even if they don't fully agree with me and my lifestyle or things like that. I mean, I can't sit here and say that every person that in my, core group exactly believes, what I believe, but I believe they have an understanding of what I believe, and that they still give me advice based on, again, the life that I live, and not like giving advice based on like something totally completely different, right? Because there's people that'll be out here, friends or whoever they are, they can be out here and they'll give you advice, but it will be the type of advice you don't need to take, right? So again, when we're seeking counsel of any kind, these are just things to think about in advance that hopefully will help the process and things of that nature. So I know I'm saying a lot, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not saying a lot at the same time as well. But one of the things that I was thinking about before I went live is just really thinking about, I hope that you guys are, appreciating, right, and are encouraged and inspired by me sharing my journey day to day, and getting like a real live process of what it's like to, again, incorporate God in every aspect of your life and things of that nature. And so as I approach this new thing, right, because again, we've been talking about this over the past few months, doing something new. As I approach this new thing for me, which would be to go to talk to a professional person for counseling and things of that nature, with the intention about my own issue, and issues, right? I'll share, as much as I can, I want to, again, encourage and inspire the next person to take that step if that's what needs to be, because I mean, generational curses is a real thing, mental health and all of that is a real issue and thing. And, and we need to do our best to, be our best, right? At the end of the day, again, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, and if I sit here and allow, again, my issues and things to beat me up and keep me down and things of that nature, how could I sit here and come and to encourage and inspire the next person, right? How can I, be a confidant and stuff for other people if I am empty? So, these are all just things to think about. And I hope that, again, by me sharing my journey, that it encourages and inspires you to think about it for you in your life. But again, as we approach this thing, let's use wisdom and, everything like that. So let me get to some Bible, I pretty much just share with you guys, I guess, the reasonings behind this conversation and stuff like that. So let's get into the wisdom of the word, and then we'll see what else the Lord wants to say and do through me. So Proverbs 11:14, it says, "Where there is no guidance, a people falls, but in an abundance of counselors there is safety." At the end of the day, again, like I said, I thank each and every person that, are in my core group of individuals that I can go to, again, share my heart, to vent, to, have, listening ears and things of that nature. I truly, truly appreciate that. And I value that, and I don't take that lightly that I have that. And again, that's probably what's helped me, again, over all these years, because I can't imagine not having those individuals in my life, because, again, we all go through ups and downs in life, right? We all go through traumatic experiences and things of that nature, and some of us just never address it, right? We keep sweeping such things under the rug, and next thing we know is festering, and it's becoming a stumbling block, right? It's becoming something that you're either unhealed from, or things of that nature. And I was reminded again of all of this the other day. I told you guys that I was able to go to the all staff meeting, and the individual that was sharing with us, not only did he share his book, which I actually have right here. It's called Seven Deadly Thoughts, Conquer Thoughts That Limit Your Life. His name is Travis A. Hall. So if that's something you guys are interested in and might need to look into, by all means, look into that. Again, he had a lot of wisdom that he shared with us on that day. But anyway, in his talk, as he was talking to us, he mentioned about, therapy. He mentioned about, counseling, and and basically what it looks like to not deal with these type of things, and how it goes from just building walls around yourself where that's kind of stemmed by fear, and it goes on and on and on. And then we find ourselves in cycles that we're just continuing to not only do the same things in our own lives, but then we put that onto the other people in our lives and whatnot as well. And it just goes on and on and on, and a vicious cycle. So again, I felt like even that conversation the other day was confirmation for me with the decision that I had already kind of started to lean into, and decide to again seek out this counseling opportunity, and things of that nature. And so to hear that the other day was also again confirmation for me. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm confirmation for you. If you've already been thinking in your heart and mind, you know what, I need to talk to somebody, right? And again, we try to do that with friends and family, and that's cool. But sometimes we need to go beyond that, and again, talk to a professional and things of that nature. But let's be wise about the counselors that we're seeking, and things of that nature. So let me go ahead and give you guys some more Bible. James 4:7, it says, "Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you." I felt like that verse was important as I came across it this morning, because again, like you can seek all the counseling you want, right? But if you're not seeking the right type of counseling, then that's not going to benefit you at the end of the day. So again, if you're a believer, I would say seek people that, again, Bible believing counselors, right? Christian, therapy, things of that nature. And you might have to get to know a few people. You might have to try some people out. You don't have to go with the first person you meet and see and stuff. I mean, again, I got to take all of this for myself as well. Even as I get ready to make my first appointment and stuff, like, thus far, the person that reached out to me and stuff seems cool, but we're going to have to see what the Lord do, right? We're going to see how that conversation goes and stuff like that. Because, again, I have to get the right type of counseling. I can't just be getting all kinds of, people willy-nilly that's going to speak, evil and death into my life. No, I need someone that's going to speak life into my life, and give me biblical sound wisdom, things of that nature. So, let's let's submit ourselves to God and resist the devil, and he's going to flee from us. Proverbs 1:5, it says, "Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance." That's one of the things I've observed, that some people feel like they have arrived. There's some people that really feel like they know it all. They don't need no help, and things of that nature. And I think my observation of that is that's not a wise thought process. Because again, we all are still learning and growing every day. Again, until we pass away, there's still opportunities to learn and grow. And so, it would be a disservice for me and my family and this ministry of GSL and everything for me to go through my life and feel like I've arrived and that I don't need no additional help and stuff like that. Because again, the stuff that I just went through over the past month, the end of between Christmas and now, is traumatic things that could really break somebody, Again, I know my husband's taking it lightly, and in some ways it feels like he is. And when I talk about, again, the things that I went through for Christmas Eve, like, I know I made it through. I know there's nothing wrong with me. I didn't break any bones and things of that nature. I'm grateful for all of that. And that's why I got to, again, give glory and honor to the Lord for what he did, for sparing my life, But I can't sit here and make light of the fact that could have been a head-on collision, y'all. Like, and that means something to me. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm somebody that grew up without my biological father. Like, he passed before I was born, and so I definitely wouldn't want my son to experience. Even though, again, I mean, I never got the chance to know my dad at all, and my child has gotten a chance to know me. And yes, I have a variety of things that he can look at and listen to at this point. If something ever happens to me and things of that nature, but nobody wants to think that on Christmas Eve you gonna lose your mama. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna or your wife is gone on Christmas Eve from a head-on collision. Like, I'm just saying, like, that was the situation. You know what I'm saying? And like, that is a traumatic thing. If I really, for example, was to let that thing fester and stay and eat at me and stuff like that could be a really traumatic experience. And so, and then again, trying to go on vacation and then hear about my 30-year-old cousin passing away. That's also another traumatic experience. And then on top of that, then you're sick, and it's just all this, all the different things that I've been going through. It could be, again, a very mentally draining situation and stuff. And let's just imagine that I never addressed it at all. Let's just imagine that I just let the stuff pile on me, pile on me, pile on me. Like I told you guys, I was coming here and doing the juice and stuff, but I didn't really feel like myself until day 3. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really feel like miracle until like day 3 of the new year. And that's huge because, I mean, not to be like I wasn't me or something, but, it just was a lot mentally going on in my mind to where, I really had to take that time for, even again, me trying to attempt to go to work still ended up in a situation where, my coworkers was like, hey, go rest, and stuff like that. So, again, we go through things and we feel like, we can take it and we trying to be strong and stuff like that. But, I believe the wisdom today is understanding that, again, no man's an island, right? And there's things that, again, the Lord wants us to cast our cares on him and things of that nature. And sometimes that might require you to cast your cares to someone else, Matter of fact, here goes another verse. Is 1 John 1:9. It says, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. I know that I don't know if the Christian faith more so talks about this whole idea of quote unquote confession. I feel like that's more of a Catholic thing to talk about, or it's like a regularly talked about thing, I guess, in that particular community. But it's telling us to confess our sins, and yeah, I mean, I don't know what y'all think that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all think there's ways to confess your sins without confessing to someone else? Yeah, you confess your sins to the Lord, of course. You know what I mean, through prayer and things of that nature. But do we think really that also doesn't mean, again, someone else being involved? Even if it is a friend or a confidant or something like that, confessing the sin. It says here. No, it don't say to one another on this one. I was just about to say it says one another, and in some verse I feel like it's saying one to another about something like that. But y'all can go and confirm and make sure that I'm saying this right and stuff, because I could be saying it wrong. I'll acknowledge that. But basically, again, I mean, I believe that there's power and wisdom in seeking counsel of others. I mean, again, that first verse acknowledges that, where it said, where there is no guidance, a people falls, but in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. Because, yeah, just in case you might talk to the wrong person, you just keep talking to one person all the time, and then they might give you the type of advice that you don't need. Talk to a variety of people, and everything like that. But again, I do think that there's more of a chance for you to get biblical wisdom from, again, a biblical counselor, things of that nature. So that's something to think about. I mean, you guys can, pray and seek the Lord about what that looks like for you in your life. For me in my life, I feel like it looks like getting some professional help at this point and stuff. Because, again, I want to address things. I want to face things. I want to, break curses. I want to, this is the type of stuff I want to do for me in my life. Not only just for me, but for my child, for my husband, for me to be a good steward and prayerfully, whatever the Lord is doing with me through this and stuff like that. And so, these are all things just to think about. I thought it was very interesting when I went to gotquestions.org today. There's a whole section dedicated to this conversation, and in that section is a variety of articles. I read a few of them and whatnot, but I'm just going to send y'all directly there. The section is called Counseling and Therapy. There's so many different articles under that category of counseling and therapy on gotquestions.org that I hope that it will encourage you and inspire you when it comes to this conversation. And again, the type of counseling that we need to be looking into when it comes to being believers. But this is ultimately the juice this morning. You know, I'm for the Jesus and the therapy, and I'm gonna let y'all know again what the Lord do with me, for me, and through me when it comes to all of that. But yeah, that's the juice. That's the juice this morning. The Bible verse of today is Isaiah 41:10. It says, "Fear, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." Friends, I hope that you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Today is Friday, y'all, so we have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out tonight. It's with Mr. Michael Magrush. He's an amazing artist and podcaster and much, much more. So you guys can tune in tonight to learn more about him and his endeavors. And yeah, man, I hope that you guys really take some time and pray about this conversation about Jesus and therapy. I thought it was very interesting that today's conversation went, you guys know another thing that I've been doing this year is being part of 21 Days of Prayer. And so the 21 Days of Prayer theme today was talking about Jesus as our healer. And again, yes, I believe that he wants to heal us mentally, physically, spiritually, and all those different things. And so I felt like that was another confirmation thing about this conversation of Jesus and therapy. So yeah, man, I hope that you guys are encouraged and inspired. Y'all have a wonderful Friday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Did you know that you can support us for just 99 cents a month? That's right, friends. You can support everything that we do here at GSL for just 99 cents a month. Take a look around wherever this post is. You might see a link or maybe even a button that says support. Go there, check out the options, consider supporting us because, you know, we enjoy bringing you all the daily inspiration as well as the weekly talk show, but we have much, much more to come. Thank you so much for the consideration. Bye-bye.